Pleasure to welcome you again to the Lauda Cross Country Centre. Two races to bring you. The cross country, the women's 5K sitting, and then the men's 10K. Looking forward to the chance to create some history will be Roman Petushkov. Make it 7 out of 7. And he would be the only Winter Paralympic athlete to win 7 gold medals at the One Games. Conditions are sunny, but it's a little windy. Women's 5K first of all. And we've got 22 in the field. Last to go will be Marianne Martinsen, who won the sprint. And that's a 1K event, so see if she's good for 5Ks. Sun's out, it's a little warmer than a couple of hours ago, and a few tempted to go without hats and gloves. Why not? It's not so very cold. And they're warming their hands with all the applause they're doing for every athlete, not just the Russian competitors. 28 competitors in the men's event. Snow is hard, good conditions either. Yes, it's warmed up to 7 and low humidity. Bit of wind around, 11 k's from the south. And the athletes starting to gather for the women's 5K sitting. They go off at 30-second intervals, and it'll be Zanil Baltabayeva of Kazakhstan first off, followed by Sini Pie of Finland, Mayuki Eno of Japan. 1, 2, 3. But 23 in the women's event. Beth Requist and Monica Basio of the United States, and the Belarusian Rafayeva, Birgit Skarstein of Norway. This is probably the windiest day we've had at Laura for some weeks. Very still conditions we had for the Olympics and most of the Paralympics too. But it's not going to bother the athletes. There's 2 races we have still on the program. It won't take very long. Abdukarimova of the Russian Federation, Tatiana McFadden. She's had lots of media attention in these last 10 days or so. Anja Vicker, gold medalist in biathlon. But it's Marianne Martinsen who looks the one to beat. Quick look at the start list for the men's 10K. 28 of them. And Sebastian Fortier of Canada will lead them off. And this race is going to start immediately that all the women's competitors are on their way. So again, we're going to have quite a chaotic scene out on the course. Andrew Sol looking for that first medal of these games. But the man to beat, Roman Petushkov, as he has been right throughout these games in the sitting category, he has been unbeatable. He's a perfect 6 from 6. Here's Anja Vicker. A very good game. She pretty much had the perfect race when she took out the 10K biathlon. Svetlana Konovalova will go out 6th last. Andrea Eskau won the 6K biathlon. 49, Ludmila Pavlenko from Ukraine. Oksana Masters from the United States. Originally from this part of the world. Adopted across to the US when she was a child. Zanil Baltabayeva gets us underway. Women's 5K sitting, and the Kazakhstani athlete pushes away from the start area. She's the LW12 sport class, so 100% of her real time becomes her competition time. And we've got athletes from LW 10.5 and LW 10 up to LW 12. Sini P of Finland, second to go. She's from Rovaniemi. Under the bridge, around this right-hand turn, just dig that right hand in to get a bit of extra traction and steering. Mayuko Ino is from Akita in Japan. One of the younger competitors here, she's only 16, Ino. Had a couple of top 15 places at the World Championships in Sweden in 2013. Pick up the sport seriously in high school. Seo Vorami of Korea, one of the torchbearers for the Sochi Games, which has a strong family connection to the next host city, which is PyeongChang in Korea. Pushing away along, under sunny skies at the moment, some cloud around and some wind as I mentioned, but we're going to get through this last day I think pretty well. Beth Requist from Winter Park, Colorado, used to be a snowboarder before her accident in 2011. Baltabaeva, making her way between the tracks, decided it's the place to be. Monica Bastien. She's had 9 top 10 finishes in cross-country and biathlon at Paralympic Winter Games at Torino and Vancouver. And 2 silver medals in London Paralympics in hand cycling. Lydia Rafayeva of Belarus. The reason she took up the sport, she said, she wanted to become famous and to feel equal with other people. I'm not sure about the first, but I do agree with the second. That's a very reasonable thing to not just hope for, but to expect. Rafayeva, up she goes. 3 top 10s here in the biathlon events. 6K, 10K, 12.5. Birgit Skarstein, also a rower, a silver medal last year in Korea. International rowing event there, wants to go to Brazil as a rower. Birgit Skarstein, 25 years of age. Norwegian support team, always here, always making plenty of noise, let their athletes know they're appreciated. Sini P, pushing away up the hill. The snow may be just starting to soften a little. Oksana Abdukarimova, only been competing for 4 years and the first of the Russian athletes to set off. Valchuk there, waiting. That's Ina Sheets of Belarus. 19 years of age, 8th in the 5K at the World Championship. So top 10 is not out of the question for her. There's a slightly bigger field here though. Laura. Oksana Masters. Away goes Tatiana McFadden. McFadden, very successful wheelchair athlete over marathon distances and a string of Paralympic track and field medals to her name. 3 gold, 4 silver and 3 bronze in fact. Now Ludmila Vauchok, 32-year-old from Minsk in Belarus. Bronze in London in rowing for Vauchok, so it's a fairly common crossover between cross-country and biathlon skiing and rowing for these athletes, and for cycling. Rowers and cyclers in the field. Oksana Masters, silver medal in the 12K cross-country. Away she goes, couple of fourths as well in the 6K biathlon and 1K sprint. Baltabayeva just casting a look over her shoulder. Of course, really is starting to come under the effect of serious wind. Baltabayeva up to the 1.6 kilometre checkpoint. And to work hard up this hill and gets a little easier here. See the racing line really is starting to soften. Dimitri will be certainly quicker than Baltabayeva through there. And as we get to the quicker competitors, that time will come down a fair bit. Olena Yakovska, Ukraine flag bearer at the 2010 Vancouver Games, ex-sitting volleyballer, 30 years of age now. You know, somewhere between the times of P and Baltabayeva. Maria Yavleva, another for the Russian Federation. She's from the Komi Republic in northwestern Russia. Basio has trimmed a minute off the time of P through there. And the twist 34.7 seconds slower than her American teammate. Anya Vicker. Anya Vicker won the 10K in the biathlon. Put together what explained was her perfect race, really. Did not miss a target. No targets to shoot today, just the target of a good time. Svetlana Konovalova. Second in the 6K and in the 10K in the biathlon. But she did win the 12.5K biathlon event from Vicker. Just 5 to come now. So Francesca Puccelato with her highly publicised sit ski, sit in a chair. It's been designed by Ferrari apparently. This is Ludmila Pavlenko before we get to Puccelato. And Ludmila Pavlenko won the 2005 Worlds over 10K in the biathlon. She's had a string of World Championship gold medals, in fact, in both cross-country and biathlon. Marta Zainulina. And the Russian Federation athlete gets an especially big cheer. Back out onto the course to see how this 1.6K checkpoint, the times are through there. Abda Karimova outside scale. McFadden comes through the quickest now. 7 seconds under Skarstein. Francesca Puccelato. Away she goes. An Italian veteran. in the LW10 class, so 86% is the factoring number applied to her time. Andrea Eskau won the first biathlon event, the 6K, and then has had sort of mixed health since then and had to withdraw from a couple of races. After pushing away at a good tempo at the start of this one. Andrea Eskau from Bergheim in Germany. So just one to come, and she might well be the race favourite. It'll be Marianne Martinsen. Here she is from Bergen in Norway, the sprint champion. Martinsen has got a dynamic sprint in her. And she won the sprint in a very tight finish from McFadden and Zainulina. They're looking for another gold medal here, Martinsen. It is 5K, too long for her. Well, the next little while will tell us. Half an hour should have it done. And won't be far away from a start in the men's events. Just a couple of minutes until the men's 10K sitting gets underway. And a big field of 28. And as I mentioned, the last man to go is perhaps the man of the games, Roman Patushkov. Watching Basio come around towards the halfway point of the event, 2.5 kilometres. Gives us a good, accurate guide to check off how the athletes are going. She comes through in 9:03.9. Lefeva 11 seconds behind her. And Baltabaeva. And Monica Basio went out 6th. So she's overtaken a number of competitors. And Chris now almost 51 seconds behind a teammate. Through they go. And with the ski still as much as they already have done. Skarstein 26 seconds quicker than Basio. So she is the new leader through there, the Norwegian competitor. Sky's darkening just a little. We won't worry too much about that. These are quick races. We'll get it done before any weather closes in on us. Anja Vicker. Just being overtaken there by Konovalova, but they're in different sport classes. I think they won't be too worried about that as Konovalova takes the inside track and just moves ahead of her. 1:49, Ludmila Pavlenko coming through. McFadden's 4:29.6 under pressure here from Pavlenko. And she's almost 9 seconds quicker than McFadden. Pavlenko, 5th last out under the course. 1:50 coming through is Marta Zainulina. She'll be just outside Pavlenko and inside McFadden's time. So wedges herself between those two. Ukraine, Russia, USA through there, but still a couple to come. Porcelato, Eskau and Martinsen. Question mark over Eskau's fitness and perhaps Martinsen's endurance for this event. Men's 10K about to get underway. Sebastian Fortier of Canada will start it off for us. The Masters in 1:43, moving through at the halfway point in 8:11.5. The Masters is the new leader there from McFadden and Vouchok. Then Valenciana Sheets, Eskau, Pavlenko's 4:20. Well, she's going to be inside that by 6.5 seconds. So Eskau comes through, new leader at that point, but still Martinsen to come after her. Pozzolato next. And down she comes. We'll go back to the start of the men's 10K. Giordano Tomasoni, he's out second after Sebastian Fortier, so we're 2 into a field of 28. Tomasoni, Italy, a couple of competitors busy out in the course at the moment. Yodleva, a little slower than Masters at the halfway point. So checking on my screen, it's in a time finally come in for Martinsen, and she's well off the pace. She's 46 seconds slower than Eskau, so I'm just not sure what's happened to Martinsen. Well, in fact, she might have had a fall, because that's not what we were expecting. She's dropped back to 16th position, Martinsen. And so Jakovska goes through there. Roland Ruetta of Italy. Second of 3 Italians in this race, the third being Enzo Masiello. The first was Giordano Tomasoni. We saw him head off. Roland Ruetta. Got a few years of competition behind him. He's 48 from Bolzano in Italy. Konovalova, well behind Masters time. This race has been somewhat blown open by the very average opening to the race by Martinsen, and we'll look for some clarification on what's happened to her. But meanwhile, Anya Vika and Ludmila Pavlenko coming in side by side to the halfway point. About half a minute behind Masters. And Pavlenko's inside it, and Vika outside. Pavlenko is suddenly our new leader at the 2.5K. So still to come through the halfway point, Zainulina, Pozzolato, Eskau and Martinsen. Here's Zainulina, 19 behind Pavlenko. Travis Dodson of the United States sets off in the men's 10K sitting. He's from Champaign, Illinois. Out of 20th placing in the 7.5K. That's up to 10. Eskau, but she's back to full fitness. See, the snow is starting to soften, especially on the racing line around these tight bends. Eskau could make a full recovery. First day in the biathlon, she had a win. Maybe last day in the 5K, she might do it. Pavlenko's time 7:58.5 through there, and Eskau is almost 12 seconds quicker than Pavlenko, and no sign of Martinsen. Masters, though, also having a good race. Let's check her through 4.1K. So she's got 900 metres to ski and pushing it hard as she can. Masters perhaps on her way to another medal. Sinipi of Finland is pushing up the hill one last time inside the last kilometre. Alongside her, Mayuka Ino. They started just 30 seconds apart. Here's Kamil Rosiek of Poland, who's in the Polish relay team. Rosiek 10th to go. Pozzolato. She's about a minute behind Eskau. Well, won't do that on time to her. 46 seconds. Sebastian Fortier coming up to one of the early checkpoints. 1.6 Ks in just under 5 minutes. Here she is, Marianne Martinsen, and she's way, way off the pace. So I just wonder what's happened to her. She looks a little distressed. She may have had a fall. That's the only thing I can think of, because she's a minute 40 now behind Eskau. Jeremy Wagner, meanwhile, in the men's event, on his way. Chokhlaev. 13 minutes flat for Oksana through the 4.1 Ks. Mikhailo Tachenko from Kharkiv in Ukraine. He sets off in the men's event. He also competes in biathlon and has done here with Laura. And 37, Lydia Rafaeva coming around towards the finish. Going to be one of the early times to keep an eye on Rafaeva. She's made pretty brisk work of it through the 5Ks and into the last straight now. And athletes always find somehow that little bit extra to push it down hard to the line. The last 15 or 20 pushes give it absolutely everything. It could be worth a place or two, particularly in a big field like this one with 23 starters, and she comes in 19-13. So it gets Skarstein. It's coming through and under Rafaeva's time. Skarstein just over 18 minutes. What I'm looking out for as a potential winner is right now in the last straight. It's Oksana Masters. Originally from Russia. Masters, sorry, originally from Ukraine, but from the old Soviet Union, but Ukraine to the US, born in Khmelnytskyi, several years in an orphanage there, and was adopted across to Louisville, Kentucky. In comes McFadden, 23 seconds slower than Masters. McFadden with a similar story to tell. Meeting up with biological mother over here in Russia for the first time. Valchok pushing down to the line. Inside McFadden's time, so she'll push her. Will she push her out of second? Yes, she does. Belarusian next to finish. Valentina shoots, comes over in 17:55-54. Son of Masters still the one to beat. It's Valchok and McFadden in second and third, so it's USA, Belarus, USA. Chokhlaev outside Masters time, so Oksana Masters will just breathe a little easier as one more comes in. No quicker than her, but fourth position it looks like for Chokhlaev. But they're starting to finish in a rush. Yakovska Still Masters, Valchok, McFadden. USA, Belarus, USA. So wait for Pavlenko to come in. No threat from P. Pavlenko, Zanulina and Eskau. Not a lot still out there. Konovalova, no, she's outside Masters time as well. There's another threat seen off by Oksana Masters. Konovalova across in second place, 18 seconds outside Masters time. Looking better and better for Oksana Masters. Masters, Konovalova and Valchok at the moment. USA, Russia, Belarus. Here comes Pavlenko though, and the top of the standings is about to change. Ludmila Pavlenko coming down to the line, and she is the new leader. Pavlenko hits it in 16.27 flat and has pushed up Oksana Masters out of top spots. Marta Zaynulina next into third. So now it's Ukraine, USA, Russia. And third Paralympics for Ludmila Pavlenko. And this is certainly going to be one of her best results. Second and a couple of thirds in biathlon for Pavlenko. A couple of thirds as well in cross country in Torino. Fourth in Vancouver. Eskau, 15.55, coming up to 16 minutes. So she's going to take the place of Pavlenko at the top. Eskau, absolutely back to the top of the game. Andrea Eskau pushing it down to the line. And Eskau, by 18 seconds, displaces Pavlenko. Saving perhaps her best to last, although she did win the opening biathlon event, the 6K. The games seem to be a mess between then and now, with illness and withdrawals. And, the first to across to congratulate her was Ludmila Pavlenko, and I've absolutely loved that about these games. The camaraderie, the sportsmanship has been right out of the top drawer. Halstead back to the men's race. Coming through 1.6 Ks. 21 seconds outside Pachenko's time there. And I think we've got the issue settled with the women's. It's Eskau, Pavlenko and Masters, Germany, Ukraine, USA. So the coverage now concentrate on the men's event. Chris Kleebel from Canada in 1.53. Just another look at Martinson, who's had I guess what we call a bad day at the office. She's coming in way down on the leading times. Going to be well over 2 minutes behind Eskau. Struggling to finish in the top dozen. Martinson. There'll be a story to tell, I'm sure, about why she's so far down the standings, but she's doing her best to get it home. She fell right off the pace in the first kilometre. So something may have happened away from our cameras that we didn't know about, but she still manages a smile, 2 minutes 30 behind Eskau. A bit cross about it all. Not to worry, she leaves with a gold medal from the sprint. She's not hanging around. Gelato, the Italian, still to finish as well. Francesca Porcelato at 43. Gold medalist in the sprint in Vancouver, but hasn't got anywhere near that form, unfortunately, in Sochi. As Porcelato pushes it down to the line. And might just get there inside the top 10. Puzzolato. And does. Grigori Murygin, one of the fancies here in the men's 10K setting. Takes 6 seconds out of Tkachenko's time at that checkpoint. Andrew Sol. 10K race, so a quarter of the way through, and he's 6 seconds behind Tkachenko. Andrew Sol's had a number of top 10 finishes, but just can't get himself quite onto the podium. He's had a little bit of bad luck, had a fall in one race that saw him perhaps miss the medal at his best chance, because he only missed it on third by about 5 seconds. In biathlon, the last shooting stage, Andrew Sol fell as he set out for his last lap. This is Chris Kleebel of Canada. Strange old day now, weather-wise. The clouds are darkening and looming, but of course it's still in sun, in the sunshine. Kleebel carefully round the bend. And under Tkachenko's time at the 2.5Ks, had 25% of the race done. Halstead 50 seconds outside Kleebel's time there. Canada then USA. Here he is, Patushkov. 5.5 seconds outside Murygin. This could be Murigin's opportunity to upset the perfect record of Patushkov. Murygin, the 19-year-old Russian, wouldn't hesitate to take the gold away from his teammate. And Chokhlaev through 4.1, 15 seconds down. Chokhlaev starting around the middle of the field. And Tkachenko to beat the time of Rosiek through the 4.1K, so not quite halfway through the race. And fatigue just starting to kick in, especially on the uphill sections, and the snow continuing to soften. The conditions probably changing a little, but it's only a short race, certainly not worth worrying too much about what the wax technicians may or may not have got right or wrong. Just got to press on with it. Wagner of the US. And from Denver, Colorado goes through. Daniel Nossen certainly thinks it's a sunny day. He's got the singlet on to compete in. Coming in behind Kozo Kubo at the halfway mark. Oh, it's 2.5K. They've changed the graphic on me. Some are coming through halfway and some at the 2.5K, depends who they are. Gaiditsia, who's one of the early starters, it is the halfway point for him, 16:41.5. Sebastian Fortier, Canadian, on a race pace of about 40 minutes as he comes through in 19 for 5Ks. Zanapov in 26, and the Russian coming up to what would be 2.5Ks for him, and he's 11 seconds slower than Murygin. Murygin has come through, and to Giordano Tomasoni, and the Italian has got half of his race taken care of. Guernico of Ukraine will be next to come through. Here he is in 8th. Around the bend at a good clip comes Roman Petushkov. Now we've got to check Roman's time at the 2.5K for him. Let's see where he is. Don't worry about Rosiak for the moment. Petushkov is 1.5 seconds now quicker than Murugan. He has really cranked up the pace in the kilometre between the first checkpoint and this one. The message must have got to him that the young pup Murugan was taking it to him, and Petushkov has pushed it home strongly into the home straight, but still got plenty of racing to go. It's a 10K event and he's 2.5 Ks into it, and he's back in front where he's most used to being. Maxim Yorovyi won't be far off Petushkov's pace. He's a different sports class. He's LW10, and Yorovyi just a few seconds outside Petushkov's time. Yorovyi LW10, Petushkov LW12. So 14% of his real race time is dropped for Yorovyi. Petushkov LW12, 100% factoring for him. Meanwhile, Goncharov. Half the race done, 17 seconds behind Rosiak of Poland. Goncharov from Moscow. Moscow to Sochi, about just over 2 hours in the plane. Can get the train down if you're not in a hurry. And almost directly south of Moscow is Sochi. Chenko still keeping an eye on the Ukrainian. Some of the quicker skiers in the first 10 or 12. In fact, he's a bid 13, so I'll just take that all back. Top 15, so Chenko setting one of the quicker paces. Rosiak of Poland, meanwhile, 16:10 through 5Ks. Wagner 47 seconds now. Flied now. And the German 15.5 minutes through the 5Ks. And it's him in the 15 bib. Unusual looking chair he's got. Got 4 together coming through here. 25 is Murugan. 22 is Masiello of Italy. But Murugan through the 4.1, and he's actually outside Kleibel's time. That's unexpected. Nossen going through as well. So this is the last event of the cross-country and biathlon program at Lauda. And Vladimir Gagitsia of Slovakia. 3.4 kilometres to ski for him. We had Roland Ruep of Italy may have withdrawn. I'm seeing no times for him now. He was 4th to start. Looks like he's taking himself out of the competition. Fernando Roca, this looks like. The Brazilian. Coming through the 6.6 Ks. Quick west, downhill section, and back into the hard work. 16 is Romain Rosic. 39 seconds behind Flag. Here comes Petushkov. Now, Kleibel of Canada has really come through flying. 4.1 Ks, and Kleibel is our new leader. Here he is. Half race distance. I don't know if he can keep this up. He comes through in 15:01.6. And he's starting to ask some questions of the more fancied racers here, Murdigan, Zadapov and Petushkov. Aaron Pike, United States, big powerful man. Trouble is, the bigger you are, the more weight there is to push up the hills. He's certainly not lacking in strength though. Giordano Tomasoni of Italy. 2.5 minutes behind Roziek's time through there. Ken Halstead. Kleebel, suddenly he's the man we've got to watch. Here's Kleebel, competing for Canada for the last few years, a former US citizen, grew up in Austria and was born in Dusseldorf. So Kleebel's a real citizen of the world, if you like. Kleebel formerly competed for the US at both the 2006 and 2010 Paralympic Winter Games, and now for Canada. So it needs to be an interesting story if we were to get up here. The US would be saying, well, that's someone we let slip through our fingers. But the finish to the race is still some way away. Grigori Murugan. Kleebel's time, 15:01.6. Murugan can't match it. He's well outside it, in fact, by 12 seconds. We've got the Masiello coming through behind him. Here's Kozo Kubo. 21 seconds slower than Kleebel. Zadapov, Yorovyi and Petushkov we've got to watch next. 24 is the sleeveless Daniel Nossen. You certainly see how powerful his arms are when he's not wearing any sleeves, but you expect that. And the arms away they propel themselves around and they get pretty big and strong. Garitsiar, 3/4 of the race done for him. And the Slovak just had a pretty good race too. 25 minutes through there. Zadapov, 30 seconds behind Kleebel. And the upset is still on here. Wagner. Petushkov. The Russian Federation will be starting to get a bit worried about whether Petushkov can complete the 7 from 7 here. He won't if it doesn't get a bit of a hurry on through the second 5 kilometres, because Chris Kleebel of Canada is holding on to this lead, and Petushkov finds himself at least 15 seconds behind. Well, take it back, 13.5. Checkpoint came a little quicker than I was expecting for him, but Petushkov down to second. Andrew Soul. Probably one of the unluckier men at these games, I'd say. There's always stories of good fortune and bad. Dodson, American, coming through. Yes, he's a minute or so behind Gadicia at the 3/4 race stage. But at the 5K, including for you, Kleebel with a 13.5 second lead over Petushkov and 12.2 seconds ahead of Murugan. So Murugan had actually moved into second, then Petushkov, then Kubo, and fifth would have been Zadapov at the halfway stage. So quite a shock, those standings with half the race done. Let's see if Petushkov can respond. So here's Kleebel. He's obviously come out feeling pretty good. Might have been just saving himself for this one crack at Petushkov, and he's making a fair fist of it too. Yorovyi. See how his time is coming through at halfway. Different factoring applied to his time, of course, and Yorovyi at the halfway point won't be far off Kleibel's time. Yorovyi into third, and that actually pushes Petushkov down to fourth. Well, Roman Petushkov, with a big program that he's had, is he feeling some fatigue towards the end of these Paralympic Winter Games? Because Petushkov, he's had all the emotion and all the attention that come with winning 6 out of 6 races. Halstead up to the 6.6k, so he's got 3.4 to go, and he looks like he wishes it was 1.4. Mudigan now 17 seconds outside Kleibel, so if anything, Kleibel is improving his margin over the 2 Russians. And Yorovyi of Ukraine. Daniel Nosson. About a minute down on Kleibel. I see Kozo Kubo right there with him. Kubo 27 seconds down on Kleibel, so he's a fair bit closer. Kozo Kubo having a good race here. If he can really bring it home, the Japanese could be on the podium. Here's Erik Carleton, looks to be labouring a bit. Carleton, W12 sport class, so he's the same as Petushkov and Mudigan and Nosson. 51 seconds down on Kleibel, and then we've got to look out for Petushkov. Gaditsia, meanwhile, coming through with just the 900 metres to ski for Gaditsia. Waiting at this checkpoint, here he comes, Petushkov. And he's further behind Kleibel. 22.8 seconds, and Petushkov doesn't look like he can respond. It's the first time I've seen him looking really fatigued. And Petushkov may not be liking these conditions. Whether the Russian wax technicians have sent their athletes out with the wrong wax, and that can make all the difference. It can be 5 seconds a lap more. Here he comes, Chris Kleibel. 3/4 race distance. Keep an eye on him, 22:48.9. How's his rhythm look? Not too bad. If he hits the wall though in the next couple of kilometres, they'll catch him. They'll catch his time at least. Well, what's been written in the last 24 hours or so about the chances of Petushkov getting the perfect 7 from 7, and how he would be the first Winter Paralympian to get 7 gold at 1 Games. And this fairy tale ending is looking like it's going to be disrupted by this man, Kleibel. Quantico there just moving past Dodson. 36 seconds down on the time of Vladimir Gaditsia. So that's all. That's too essential to the central story here. Mudigan. Mudigan, 22:48.9 for Kleibel. Mudigan, how far behind is he? With 2.5 Ks to go. 26 seconds. And he's really going to have to put the afterburners on. Halstead pushing through. With steady pace. Yves Bourque of Canada. 4.5 down on Pike. Nossen and Kozo Kubo have been keeping close company for the last lap and a half or so. Nossen after Kubo. They're in different classes. Kubo 34 seconds behind Kleebel. So he's actually dropped a few seconds on that margin. Kleebel just shows no sign of relenting. Enzo Masiello of Italy there also in the blue. So the upset absolutely on the cards. Zadapov, this looks like he's making hard work of it today. 1:06 down on Kleebel. So I don't think we can worry about Erik Zadapov today in this one. Zadapov won a couple of gold medals in Vancouver in cross country and 2 in biathlon, but Zadapov looks like the athlete he was 4 years ago. Galicia, Slovakia, coming down to the finish in just under 35 minutes. And of the first 7 or 8 to go out, he's been the standout. Galicia in 34:42.8. And from Žilina in Slovakia, he's 46 years of age. Got a silver in the 5 kilometre cross country in Salt Lake. That's going back a few years ago, though. That's 2002, of course. Seoul. He too looks like he's feeling the effects of a long program. He's been in the cross country and biathlon. Litvinenko, a minute behind Flag. And Flag is well off the pace of leader Chris Kleebel. The victory ceremonies and flower presentations for our 6 events today at the cross country will all follow this race. Rocker. Brazilian coming down to the finish outside Gadicia's time, won't worry him. He's just had a ball participating. Rocker coming down in under 36 minutes. He's from Cotia in Brazil, originally from Sao Paulo. Breaks the line 35:37.9. Dodson will be next. Tornico. And a field of 28, so we dropped a couple along the way. Ruep, as he said, the Italian pulled out fairly early on, and Larsen didn't make the start line. The Norwegian, who would have been in the last 10. That's unfortunate. He didn't feel fit enough to participate, because he's a very good competitor, Larsen. And Kamil Rosiak of Poland, giving it his all. Dmitry Loban of Belarus. He's going to push across on the new best time under Pikes. So Loban, 32:27. Yves Bourque. .543 behind Loban. Goncharov. No, he's outside Loban as well. So a good second half of the race from Loban. But Flag now. His time will be the new best. flag left just after Loban. Different factoring on his time compared to Loban. He's LW 11.5, Loban 12. So 3% amount of time trimmed from his actual time. Fortier, 27-year-old from Quebec at his second Paralympic Winter Games. Had a rotator cuff injuries last year, both shoulders. Will certainly hold you back, limited his training, but Fortier finishes this one, checks his own watch. PyeongChang now. Started off at a brisk pace, maybe too quick, couldn't sustain it. And again, you're seeing this wonderful sportsmanship at the line. They're quick to congratulate each other. All right, let's watch him finish. This is Chris Kleebel. He skied and snowboarded while he was growing up in Austria. Began competing in cross-country skiing in 2005. And he was introduced to it by US skier Monica Bassio. We've seen her in competition here in Sochi. And Kleebel pushing it down to the line. This could be a victory for Canada unless the Russians can respond to what he's going to post here. And Canadians are getting a bit excited. Kleebel. It's going to be just under 31 minutes. 30.52 flat. And keep that in time. That time in mind. Let's look at his results at World Championships. He's had a few top fives, but anything he gets here will be better than what he's had before. He's going to get a podium finish is what I'm trying to say. And in Torino and Vancouver, never got on the podium. Mordigan won't beat Kleebel's time. Got too far to ski to get near 30.52. So Mordigan. And if he's not been able to take anything out of Kleebel's time, I'm just thinking Roman Petushkov won't be able to either. Mordigan will certainly ski into second place for the moment. 26 seconds behind Kleebel. Rosic of France, he finishes 3 minutes down on Kleebel's time. Kleebel will just be gathering himself physically and mentally and wondering, hoping, will this time stand up? I reckon it might. Petushkov just didn't look like he was taking enough out of it, and in fact was getting further behind. So Petushkov's dream of 7 out of 7 is about to come crashing down. Kubo. Kozo Kubo into the home straight. Wants to beat Mordigan's time. But he will beat Flags. So the Japanese veteran will ski into third place, but we've still got Petushkov and Yorogi out there, who ought to be able to come in under Kubo's time. Here comes Petushkov. Nope, won't do it. He's already outside Kleebel. It's whether he even finishes with a medal. But Roman Petushkov, 30.5 seconds outside Kleebel. And the Canadian can maybe just start celebrating in his mind. Because there goes one of the main threats, Petushkov. He's still the athlete of the games with 6 gold medals. Kleebel, look at his results. He was 16th in Vancouver, 18th in Torino. He's paced himself beautifully here in the 10K in Sochi. I don't think the Canadian can be beaten. The man who's still out there that would be of concern to him is Maxim Yorovyi in the LW10 sport class. Although he's yet to finish, he's got an 86% factoring applied to his time. So Yorovyi, the Ukrainian, might still be a factor. But it's Kleibel. He turned 42 on the 5th of January. Going to be one of our older winners. But my goodness, what a competitor. Formerly of the US. Born in Germany as a US citizen, grew up in Austria. Here's Yorovyi, Maxim Yorovyi. He's got a fair bit to ski. The track's quite deep now, and he's carrying a bit of extra snow around with him. You'd like to be able to shake that off. Don't need extra weight when you're skiing 10 kilometres. Some kind of de-icing mechanism on the sit ski. Well, this is a shock result. The Canadian, Chris Kleibel, from Grigory Merugin and Roman Petushkov of the Russian Federation. Still with Maxim Yorovyi. Looks like he hasn't got a lot left in him, but he doesn't have far to ski either. Another team encouraging him home. Looking at the watch saying, you can do it. There's a podium finish if you're quick enough. And he's found another effort, has Yorovyi. The 24-year-old Yorovyi from Chokhlaev in Ukraine. A little bit of a downhill section for him to enjoy. Make the most of it. Get the pace up. Get those skis gliding. And in the mid-afternoon, early afternoon really, 1:30 it is here. And the snow is certainly softening. The temperature has lifted. But Yorovyi, as he just doesn't quite have the speed to get there ahead of Kleibel's 30.52, but he could well be skiing into second place, Yorovyi. Murugan's time, 31.18. So once Kleibel's time goes off your screen, in a few seconds from now, you'll see what Yorovyi's got to do. 31.18 he's got to get there by. And I think the Ukrainian's going to do that. He's really pushing it for all he's worth. 31 minutes ticks over. He's got seconds to spare. He'll be all right. Yorovyi into second place now, pushing Murugan to third. And that means Petushkov misses out on a medal in the 10K. Who'd have thought it? Very strong finish from Maxim Yorovyi. That will absolutely delight him. Andrea Eskau, something of a surprise in the women's 5K to recover from the ill health she's had mid-games with Mila Pavlenko and Oksana Masters. Anya Vicka, she's had a great games too, 9th, and a gold medal she'll be taking home. '23 in the field, and the shock was the non-placement of Marianne Martinsen. Just couldn't get on the pace today. Realise that Eskau, 2 gold medals at the London Games in cycling, and 2 gold here at the Winter Paralympics. Men's results: Chris Kleebel of Canada has beaten the favourites well and truly. Maxim Yurovyi of Ukraine second, and Grigory Mirigan of the Russian Federation third. And Petrushkov just out of the medals in fourth. Really unusual and surprising race, shall we say, for the men's 10K. And Petrushkov just not able to match the pace, and again come back to the question about whether the Russians had the best possible wax on their skis. Chris Kleebel certainly did. The story for the rest of the session is that we're going to have the victory ceremonies and flower presentations for the 6 events we've had today. They're not due to start for another 20 minutes or so. So it's time to make yourself a cup of tea, whatever it is you fancy. And, the crowd getting themselves organised and settled, or perhaps they're having a little break too, but our schedule at the moment is for the victory ceremonies to start in about 20 minutes from now, and there'll be 6 of them, so it should be some fun, and I hope you can join us for those. Oh, they've got themselves organised quite quickly, and we're going to have our first victory ceremony 20 minutes ahead of schedule, almost. Men's 10 kilometre. Cross-country standing category for victory ceremony. Rita van Triel from RPC is here.
Старшего вице-президента организационного комитета Сочи 2014.
Vladimir Lekontsev, gold medalist in the 7.5K biathlon, adds a bronze medal in the men's 10K cross country. This is another Russia 1-2-3. There's been a few of these at these Paralympic Winter Games of Sochi. Lekontsev, just 19 years of age. Vladimir Kononov. He's the current world champion over 20 kilometres. Result he achieved in Sweden last year. Bronze medal in the 20K, also in Vancouver. Over this much shorter distance, he's also proved to have what's required. Silver medal behind Alexander Pronkov. At 42 years of age, this might be it, but if it is, it's a great way to go out for Vladimir. Alexander Pronkov from Moscow, one of the youngest in the Russian team at these 2014 Paralympic Winter Games. 2 years ago, he left his native village of Kozlovka in the Lopotinsky region of Russia to train in Moscow. And it was a move worth making as Alexander Pronkov stands atop the podium. And I think that gold must feel pretty good around his neck. The youngest man in the field. The Pronkov's victory might have been something of a surprise, but that set the tone for the day. And a Russian sweep of the medals. Pronkov, Kononov, Lekomtsev, 1, 2, 3 for the Russian Federation in the men's 10K standing cross country.
Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony for the cross-country skiing men's 10 kilometer visually impaired.
Дамы и господа, церемония награждения победителей и призеров по лыжным гонкам. 10 километров мужчины в классе слабовидящие.
Victory ceremony now for visually impaired men's 10K cross country. Pretty exciting race this one. Brian McKeever, the favourite, certainly had it taken to him with the first two-thirds of the race by Stanislav Chokhlaev. And also of interest was the outstanding performance of Thomas Clarion of France. He and Benjamin Davier got a third in the open relay. And so this is a second bronze medal for France in the cross country.
Presented by Ms. Rita van Driel, governing board member of the International Paralympic Committee. Accompanied by Mr. Robert Walsh, International Paralympic Committee, cross-country skiing and biathlon chairperson.
Медали вручают госпожа Рита ван Дриель, член правления Международного паралимпийского комитета, в сопровождении господина Роберта Уолша, председателя Международного паралимпийского комитета по лыжному спорту и биатлону.
Bronze medalist, representing France.
Бронзовые призеры, представители Франции.
Thomas Clarion with his guide Julien Bourlat stepping up to accept the bronze medal for the 10K. won a bronze medal in the relay on his birthday and is now added a second bronze in the 10K. And congratulations to his guide also, Julien Bollard. It's Thomas Clarion from Bonville in France.
Congratulations. Thank you. Excellent. Merci. You find the race pretty good? Yeah. And you? Thanks. Congratulations. Thank you. Great week this week. Yeah.
Silver medalists representing Russian Federation.
Российской Федерации Stanislav Chokhlaev и Максим Пирогов.
Stanislav Chokhlaev is 24. He picked up a silver medal in the 20-kilometre cross country, and again it was behind Brian McKeever. He began training in Serga, Russia. He moved to Perm in 2009. Also competed in athletics as well as skiing. But his full focus now is on skiing. And Stanislav Chokhlaev, 2 silver medals in 2014. And same, of course, for his guide, Maxim Perigov.
Gold medalists and Paralympic champions representing Canada.
Золотые медали и звание чемпионов Паралимпийских игр завоевали представители Канады Brian McKeever и Erik Carleton.
Brian McKeever and Erik Carleton. Well, this is Paralympic Winter Games gold medals, 8, 9 and 10 that they've collected in Sochi. So 3 gold here. He's won the sprint, he's won the 20K, and now the 10K. He was pretty worried, particularly through the first 3/4, 2/3 of the race, because Chokhlaev was setting a cracking pace, but McKeever timed it well. Chokhlaev faded just a little over the closing kilometre, and that was enough for Brian McKeever to win it by 7 seconds. And Clarion, a great third for France. An exciting race. McKeever certainly had to be at his best, and he was. He's rarely anything else. One of the great athletes of Canadian sport, Brian McKeever. Well done to his guide, Erik Carleton, who I've said more than once, does a great job just to keep up with his athletes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Canada.
Дамы и господа, если это возможно, прошу всех встать. Звучит государственный гимн Канады.
Well, Brian and his guide Erik almost have matching facial hair, but like all these combinations in the visually impaired races, they've got a great teamwork going between athlete and guide. Canada, Russian Federation and France, 1, 2 and 3 in the men's 10K, visually impaired cross country.
Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony for the cross-country skiing women's 5 kilometers standing.
Дамы и господа, церемония награждения победителей и призеров по лыжным гонкам. 5 километров. Женщины в классе стоя.
Victory ceremony for the women's 5K standing. Nice to see a smile and a wave from Yulia Batenkova, who's pretty serious when it comes to presentations and things out on the course itself. But this trend on the final day of surprising results, perhaps we should just consider that towards the end of a hectic schedule for a lot of these athletes who've been doing biathlon and cross country, fatigue plays a hand.
Mr. Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation. Mr. Vice President of the Sochi 2014 Organizing Committee.
Медали вручают господин Аркадий Дворкович, заместитель председателя правительства Российской Федерации, в сопровождении господина Георгия Ковылянского, вице-президента Организационного комитета Сочи 2014.
Bronze medalist representing Ukraine.
Бронзовый призер, представительница Украины, Александра Kononova.
Alexandra Kononova from Ukraine, who won the 12.5K biathlon, picks up the bronze medal here. The 22-year-old from Brovary in Ukraine. As an 18-year-old, she won 2 gold medals in Vancouver in cross country and 1 in the biathlon, and continues to add to her medal tally.
silver medalist, representing Ukraine.
Серебряный призер, представительница Украины, Юлия Ботинкова.
Well, she's one of the most consistent runners-up in world sport, I think. 12 times before this race she'd finished either second or third. Make that 13 now as she picks up another silver medal. Third in the 6K, second in the 15K cross country and in the sprint. And now another silver medal, so she's got 3 silvers and a bronze in Sochi.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Russian Federation.
Золотую медаль и звание чемпионки Паралимпийских игр завоевала представительница Российской Федерации Анна Миленина.
Anna Milenina, the 27-year-old from Krasnoturinsk. She won the sprint. There was a question of whether 5Ks was too long for her. Well, she gave the answer today. Milenina winning by 12.5 seconds, in fact, from Botenkova and 15 from Kononova. She also finished second in the 6K biathlon and third in the 15K classic.
Спасибо всем.
And 2 gold in Vancouver and 1 in Torino as well, so it's a wonderful career that she's had.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Russian Federation.
Дамы и господа, если это возможно, прошу всех встать. Звучит государственный гимн Российской Федерации.
Well, the crowd's in good voice. A popular win, Anna Milenina. Her husband, Victor Milenin, is a sitting volleyball player. He won a bronze medal at the 2008 Paralympic Games in Beijing. Anna Milenina from Yulia Botenkova and Alexandra Kononova, the women's 5K standing cross country.
gentlemen, victory ceremony for the cross-country skiing, women's 5 kilometer, visually impaired.
Дамы и господа, церемония награждения победителей и призеров по лыжным гонкам 5 километров. Женщины в классе слабовидящие.
Visually impaired women's 5k cross-country victory ceremony. So out come Yulia Budalieva, Nikolina Lisova and Elena Ramizova, all from the Russian Federation. So the hosts continuing to dominate the events at the Laura Cross Country and Biathlon Centre. They were the last three to go out and they've claimed the medals, all in the B2 sports class.
Presented by Mr. Executive Vice President of the Sochi 2014 Organizing Committee. Accompanied by Mr. Robert Walsh, International Paralympic Committee, Cross-Country Skiing and Biathlon Chairperson.
Медали вручают господин Дмитрий Годунов, старший вице-президент Организационного комитета Сочи 2014, в сопровождении господина Роберта Волша, председателя Международного паралимпийского комитета по лыжному спорту и биатлону.
Bronze medalists representing Russian Federation.
Бронзовые призеры, представительницы Российской Федерации Юлия Будалеева и ее гид Татьяна Мальцева.
Yulia Budalieva and her guide Tatiana Maltseva. Yulia from Tyumen, the Russian Federation. She won the 12.5k biathlon. That will, I'm sure, be her fondest memory from these games when, as I mentioned during the race, she put together the perfect event for her. Did not miss a target. Here, it's all straight racing and she was not quite on the pace, but my goodness, 5 seconds behind the winner. That's next to nothing, isn't it? Over 5 kilometres. A second per kilometre, if you like. Tatiana Maltseva, the guide, the athlete Yulia Budalieva, and this is another 1-2-3 for the Russian Federation.
Russian Federation.
Серебряные призеры, представители Российской Федерации Михалина Лысова и ее гид Алексей Иванов.
Nikolina Lisova, she's a very popular Russian athlete. Alexei Ivanov, her guide. She's won 3 gold medals here, both the early biathlon events, the 6k and 10k. She also won the cross-country sprint. And she's been part of the Our Champion project launched by the Sochi Organising Committee to raise awareness of the Paralympic movement and its values. Her older sister, Alexandra, encouraged her to try skiing. What a great move that was.
Gold medalists and Paralympic champions representing Russian Federation.
Золотые медали и звания чемпионов Паралимпийских игр завоевали представительницы Российской Федерации Елена Ремезова и ее гид Наталья Якимова.
Elena Ramizova, a second gold medal for her. She won the 15k classic. Natalia Yakimova, her guide, It's interesting that the 3 medalists here in the 5 kilometre had won all 5 previous individual events at these games. The 6, 10 and 12.5k biathlon, the sprint and the 15k classic had been shared between Budalieva, Lisova and Remisova, and here they are together sharing the medals in the last event.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Russian Federation.
Дамы и господа, если это возможно, прошу всех встать. Звучит государственный гимн Российской Федерации.
Three competitors from the Russian Federation in the event, and they took the top 3 spots. Elena Remisova, Mikalena Lisova and Yulia Budalieva. 1, 2 and 3 in the women's 5k, visually impaired.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the cross-country skiing women's 5-kilometer sitting.
Дамы и господа, церемония награждения победителей и призеров по лыжным гонкам 5 километров. Женщины в классе сидя.
Women's 5K sitting cross country victory ceremony now, and Andrea Eskau has had an enigmatic games, shall we call them that, with Mila Pavlenko the silver and Oksana Masters the bronze. Eskau won the 6K biathlon and her first competition, and she's won her last.
Presented by Mr. Dmitry Godunov, Executive Vice President of the Sochi 2014 Organizing Committee. Accompanied by Mr. Georgy Kovalyansky, Vice President of the Sochi 2014 Organizing Committee.
Медали вручаем господин Дмитрий Годунов, старший вице-президент Организационного комитета Сочи 2014, в сопровождении господина Георгия Кобылянского, вице-президента Организационного комитета Сочи 2014.
Bronze medalist, representing the United States of America.
Бронзовый призер, представительница Соединенных Штатов Америки, Oksana Masters.
Oksana Masters, born in Ukraine and then adopted by a US family to live in Louisville, Kentucky. She's also a successful rower, won a bronze medal in London in adaptive rowing in 2012. The rowing partner is Rob Jones. They collectively call themselves Team Bad Company. She's picked up a silver medal in the 12K cross country and now a bronze in the 5K. Looks pretty excited, not sure where to look, Oksana Masters.
Silver medalist, representing Ukraine.
Серебряный призер, представительница Украины, Людмила Pavlenko.
Ludmila Pavlenko, third Paralympics for her. From Kharkiv in Ukraine. Pavlenko, 32 years of age. Not sure if we'll see her go on to PyeongChang in Korea. Be a good note to go out on.
Representing Germany.
Золотую медаль и звание чемпионки Паралимпийских игр завоевала представительница Германии
Andrea Eskau, back to her best. We saw it in the first event when she won the 6K. She did not finish in both the 10K biathlon and 12K cross country. She was third across the line in the sprint, but then was relegated to sixth after a collision with Zainulina. So she lost out on that bronze medal position. And here she is winning the 5K, and a double gold medalist from London in cycling in the Paralympics there. So Eskau, it's been a roller coaster ride for her, that's for sure. But she does leave these games with 2 gold medals.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please rise if you're able for the national anthem of Germany.
Дамы и господа, если это возможно, прошу всех встать. Звучит государственный гимн Германии.
Andrea Eskau, Paralympic champion in the women's 5K.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Silver medal to Ludmila Pavlenko, but she also won the gold in the 12K cross country. So a couple of medals for her, and also for Oksana Masters, who has won a silver and a bronze here now. Germany, Ukraine and the United States in the women's 5K sitting cross country.
Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony for the cross-country skiing men's 10-kilometer sitting.
Дамы и господа, церемония награждения победителей и призеров по лыжным гонкам. 10 километров мужчины в классе сидя.
Final victory ceremony for the day here at Lauda, and a surprising day of racing and results. This is perhaps the biggest upset, with Chris Kleebel of Canada coming through to beat a quality field that included the previously unbeaten Roman Petrushkov. Petrushkov out of the medals in the end, second going to Grigory Mirugan of Russia, and third to second to Maxim Yarovyi of Ukraine, third Mirugan.
Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, accompanied by Mr. Robert Grumman, partner, Russia advisory leader of the PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Медали вручают господин Аркадий Дворкович, заместитель председателя правительства Российской Федерации, в сопровождении господина Роберта Грумана, партнера, руководителя практики бизнес-консультирования PricewaterhouseCoopers в России.
Bronze medalist representing Russian Federation.
Бронзовый призер, представитель Российской Федерации, Григорий Мурыгин.
Grigory Murygin from Omsk. He's picked up a swag of medals here, a gold in the relay, but also second in the 15k biathlon, second in the sprint, third in the 12.5k biathlon. And if Petrushkov is to hand on the baton to someone, it might well be this man. He's also a good wheelchair athlete, and many years of competition ahead of him should he choose this path.
Silver medalist representing Ukraine.
Серебряный призер, представитель Украины, Максим Яровый.
Maxim Yarovyi, he's only been training seriously for 3 years. The fifth in the world at the 15k distance. A silver medalist in the 7.5k biathlon, so here's another silver medal for Yarovyi. Looked like he was tiring with about a kilometre to go, and found something extra, particularly for the push down the home straight, and was able to get himself into second position ahead of Murygin, but behind Kleebel of Canada.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Canada.
Золотую медаль и звание чемпиона Паралимпийских игр завоевал представитель Канады Крис Клевел.
Well, Chris Kleebel, he's the everywhere man. He was born in Germany as a US citizen. He grew up in Austria. In 2006 and 2010, he represented the United States at Paralympic Winter Games. Now, as a Canadian, he is the shock winner of the men's 10k sitting cross country. In the 15k here, he finished 6th. But not too many people saw this one coming. Least of all, Petrushkov and Murygin. But he was well prepared. And he paced his race beautifully. And Chris Kleebel, Paralympic champion in the men's 10k.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Canada.
Дамы и господа, если это возможно, прошу всех встать. Звучит государственный гимн Канады.
Canada, Ukraine and Russia on the podium for our last event at Lauda. The men's 10-kilometre sitting. It may have spoiled the party for Roman Petushkov, but it certainly added something interesting to the final day's competition, with Chris Kleebel of Canada getting up ahead of Maxim Yurovyi and Grigory Murigin. So that is our final victory presentation from the Lauda Cross Country and Biathlon Centre. Sweet, sad mix really of melancholy and pride and relief that comes over the games in these closing hours. People might be tired, but they really don't want it to finish. Finish at will. Well done to Sochi and the Russian Federation, your wonderful staff and volunteers. You've done a great job. I'm grateful to have been here. Like many, will leave with so many happy memories. And congratulations to the athletes. They show the world what people with impairments can achieve. That's a message we all need to receive and understand and accept. I think we've got it loud and clear here. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we look forward to bringing you more great sport next time around. Goodbye for now, though, from Laura.